Influence the youth and get slaughtered. As bad man used to be, they respect the father. It's like no eyes don't realize the times get harder. Me talk a night to them, me might have still is laughter. Circumstances make me what I am. Was I born a violent man? Circumstances made me what I am. And everyone should know. Him say, when I try to cope, tell myself there is hope. It seems like the biggest joke. And as I put down the gun, still the lads must run. I know employment can't come. And me a jam and a cool one go back in a school. The system lick me. There's no hope for those who have not from the slum. Take the little much we have still until we're done. I'm begging to show some love. When we get back, he replied, circumstances made me what I am. Was I born a violent man? Circumstances made me what I am. And everyone should know. Well, I know little cry, mama cry, papa cry too. Show all the boy with a heart and that couldn't do. You know them find him dead with a Smith and Wesson. 6 weeks and change now. Me a remiss. Why so much violence? Too much violence. It hurts my soul and I won't keep silent. Circumstances made me what I am. That was his reply. I cry. Circumstances made me what I am. Everyone should know. May sound strange, might look foolish, but things ain't getting better. Every day another fall victim to the beretta. Why is there so much violence killing we one another? Let us learn to love and let that light shine brighter. Bad influence you influence the youth and get slaughtered. As bad man used to be, them respect the father. It's like no eyes don't realize the times get harder. I thought a night with all my might and still is laughter. Circumstances made me what I am. Was I born a violent man? Circumstances made me what I am. And everyone should know now. And when I try to cope, tell myself there is hope. It seems like the biggest joke. And as I put down the gun, collateral must run. I know employment can't come. And me a think about cool one go back in a school. The system lick me. There's no hope for those who have not from the slum. Take the little much we have, still until we done. How do we show some love? How do we get back some now? Circumstances made me what I am. Was I born a violent man? Circumstances made me what I am. Every man should know. Oh, circumstances made me what I am. Was I born a violent man?
Yes, family. Yes, family. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, family. You are listening again to your brother and host, Anthony Brown, coming to you live from the studio of Radio Gumbo here in the beautiful territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. You are listening to The Proven Truth with your brother and host, Anthony Brown. It's a cool 65 degrees outside. Beautiful weather, beautiful weather. Look, to participate in the show, you can dial a 504-303-8922. To participate in the show, you can dial 504-303-8922. We are live streaming on Facebook. We are live streaming on Facebook. To check us out on Facebook, it's facebook.com/Anthony Brown for Assessor 2017. That's ANTHONYBROWN FORASSESSOR 2017. You can also listen into the program by dialing 712-432-7883. Again, you can also listen to the program by dialing 712-432-7883. And check us out. All right. Look, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Last week we actually didn't broadcast the program. Last week Thursday we had some technical difficulties. So our audience out there, a matter of fact, you know, let me give a shout out to my brothers and sisters there in the Caribbean, listening to us in the Caribbean. You know, you guys in Haiti, welcome. You guys in Jamaica, you know your brother love you. And you guys on the East Coast and the coasts of North America, you guys out there in California, you guys out there in New York, we appreciate the love and the support. We appreciate the love and the support. You know, again, you are tuned into The Proven Truth, hosted by your brother Anthony Brown. We work out here the studio of Radio Gumbo Creole every Monday, Thursday, and Saturdays between the hours of 4 to 6 p.m. And Saturdays we like to tone it down a bit, you know. We call it Reggae Saturdays, and Saturdays we tone it down a bit, we call it Reggae Saturdays. We you know, we play you some music from the Caribbean, mostly from Jamaica. You know, music that I personally grew up on and I love, music that steer my life, you know. Music from back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. You know, that's how we do it on Saturday. You know what I mean? We raise hell through the course of the week and we tone it down on Saturday. So check us out. You know what I mean? We give you 2 hours of reggae music. 2 hours of reggae music. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure we're going to change the pace, but look, that's what we do. Let's start the program off like this. All governments of right originate with the people, is founded on their will alone, and is instituted to protect the rights of the individual and for the good of the whole. Its only limits ends are to secure justice for all, preserve peace, protect the rights, and promote the happiness and general welfare of the people. The Constitution of the State of Louisiana. This outlines the origin and purpose of government. The origin and purpose of government is to protect the individual rights of the people that created that body that we call government. And that's its only purpose, nothing else. What does that mean? That means that this body that we call government and the people that comprise this body, according to this document that we call the Constitution, these people work for us. Governments, the people that form that entity or that portfolio, or call themselves government, work for us. We give them that authority to do so. We tell them, we give them a constitution, and that constitution supposed to curtail their movements and their action. And to a certain degree, my brothers and sisters, their speech. Yeah, I know you're gonna say Anthony bullshit, I know. But no, the only reason you can say Anthony is bullshit with a straight face is just because you're lacking the knowledge or the will or the power or the fortitude to do what you're supposed to do as the people or as the bosses. So these people that call themselves government or form government run amok. Now, can you blame them? I'm not sure you can, you know. If you tell your son and daughter, hey, look, go sweep the yard or clean the room, and you don't check on your son and your daughter, and your son and your daughter don't clean the room, who is that for? Your son, your daughter? No, you're at fault. Why? Because it's your responsibility as the parent, as the mom and the dad, to follow up and to ensure that the task that you give your son or your daughter was completed. And if that task is not done, then there must be a sanction, or there must be some type of repercussion. So you give a task as the parent or as the people of the territory of Louisiana or of the United States as well. It is your job. Yes, I said job. It is your job and responsibility to ensure that the people who you hire, who you put in office to do your work, do it. And if they don't do it, you as the boss need to take action. All right? Now follow me carefully now. Follow me carefully, brothers and sisters. Follow me carefully. Look, this past Thursday, whatever date it was, what was last Thursday? What, 25th, 26th, whatever it was. Last Thursday, we had there was a function by the city hall, New Orleans City Council, city hall, and it was a downright shame and a disgrace, downright sellout on the part of the members that create that body we call the city council. We have a group of people that January, I think 2 weeks ago, or roughly around 2 weeks, I think it was around January the 11th. You have a group of people. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to call any, well, you got a group of people who present a proposition for the member of the city council to consider. And in all fairness, they considered it and they pass it. They acknowledge it and they pass it. Now, the proposition that was posed to the city council was one of a, I don't want to say generic, but it was broad in its scope. It was broad. Let me tell you the people I'm talking about. The New Orleans Palestine Solidarity Committee. The New Orleans Palestine Solidarity Committee proposes to the city council a proposal for them to consider, or a resolution for them to consider. And all that document said, without even mentioning no country specific, the document didn't say Palestine, Israel, Lebanon, nothing. It didn't mention no name. All it says, look, we want you, this body, to take a look, a serious look, and the people are the contractors that the city of New Orleans creates these relationships with and give contracts to. Because for the most part, or in some cases, some of these contractors are utilizing that resources and that revenue that they get from the city of New Orleans to create atrocities or to fund atrocities as it relates to human rights abuse internationally. Again, listen to what I'm saying. Now, this group of people that propose that proposition to city council, they could have been from anywhere. They could have been from anywhere, any group of people. But I think the key thing that you need to recognize, these people are, we can call them New Orleans. They live right here in New Orleans. They work right here in New Orleans. They go to school, raise a family right here in New Orleans. So they're New Orleans. Okay? So these group of people, this New Orleans, propose to the city council a proposition. And on January 11th, the city council passed the resolution supported by the New Orleans Palestinian Solidarity Committee, which what it did was to introduce measures to the city hall as a part of a boycott. You know, they're saying that, look, we are the people and we elect you and we want you to do certain things. And if you don't do certain things, we're going to take certain action. No, they were within their legal right and capacity to make these, to put forward these demands and to let the city council know what the remedy would be, or what would happen if what the action wasn't done. And there was in the legal authority or mindset to do so. Now, again, the people did what they needed to do. And at the time, members of the city council, New Orleans City Council, took the right action. Took the right action. When you look at the fact that this resolution did not mention Israel or Pakistan. Now, to be honest, does it have any legal teeth? There is no legal teeth in it. But all it does is it acts as a guideline for the city council as it commits itself to protecting and respecting the will of the people. That's all it is. So it's not like something where you can enforce it. You know, it's a guideline by which we're saying, look, check these people for us. Check these people. Maybe ask them a few more questions. You know, make sure that these people ain't on no watch list, or these people, you know, we can account for all of the funds that we give to them. That's all it was. And it was passed. All right? Now, November last year, there was a local government election here in the territory of New Orleans. And what we have happening right now, we actually have what we call a lame duck council board right now. Because we have people like James Gray, Nadine, what's her name? What's her name? Nadine Ramsey. I think Stacey Head too. We have a few of these people who actually, in all fairness, and if New Orleans wasn't the most corrupted political state within the union, they would have been out of office this month. But because of the corruption and the, what you call it, pay to play that we have here in New Orleans, these people that was elected November to sit on the city council ain't going to be sitting on the city council until sometime in May. But the fact that they are still there and won't give up the seat until May, that means they are still getting a paycheck and they still have that authority, fair or not, legit or not, legal or not, to render certain decision. Now, let me read something to you. Let me read a quote to you. This quote is from the mayor-elect, first female mayor or mayor-elect in the history of this territory, Latoya Cantrell. Now, this was what she said when she was running for office, when she was running for higher office, because she is actually the council person for District B and she still have to fulfill that portfolio until she have been inaugurated in May. So right now, she, even though she was elected to be New Orleans' next mayor, and she's going through our transitional process team, she still have a duty and a responsibility and an obligation to do the work and conduct the business of the residents of District B. Now, this is what she said when she was running for office last year. And I quote, "I am running to make New Orleans better, to make our city a place for all of its citizens, so all of our people can feel their worth," says Cantrell. That's a quote, right? She's running because she wants the people of New Orleans to feel, to be proud and to feel the word. She wants the citizens of the people of New Orleans to be in a better place. Okay? Now, let's go to the council at large, Mr. Jason Williams. And let's read what Mr. Jason Williams said when he was running for re-election, to be re-elected this past November. Mr. Jason Williams. New Orleans is changing. New Orleans is changing, and he wants to ensure that the change are ushered in without harming or displacing what is already there. And this is what he says. "It is not an easy task," Williams said. "It is a task that requires creative thinking," which nobody in the Guardian City Council do have creative thinking. Well, I stand correctly. Yes, they have creative thinking, but not the creative thinking that these people possesses. Is not creative thinking that would enhance the livelihood of the people of New Orleans. These creative thinking that Mr. Williams so speak of is to enhance the pocket and the career of those that are presently in office. That's the creative thinking that these guys talking about. That requires creative thinking and a real commitment to responsible growth. I am running for re-election because I want to continue to reach across departments and district and neighborhoods and parish lines to ensure that all residents of our city have access to economic prosperity, really, safe streets, and housing opportunity. That's what Mr. Williams said. And that's why the people of New Orleans apparently re-elect him or put him back in office. Because he's so concerned and want to use critical thinking so that our economic prosperity will be much better. Okay? Let's check out Mr. Jared Brissett real quick. Now, Jared Brissett, Jason Williams, and Lataya Cantrell, these are people that, based on the previous election, going to continue in office. They're going to continue in office. Okay? This was what Mr. Brissett said. He wants to continue to provide strong leadership to tackle issue that matters most for the working family of District B, making New Orleans a safer, more affordable city by improving public safety, economic development, and opportunity. Stop. We don't have to go no further than that. So all of these people use these beautiful fancy words, these adjectives, to let us know what they want to do. And that's the reason why they ask us to re-elect them to office. And for the most part, the people of New Orleans did. So, there's a relationship there. One group of people ask for something, one group of people give it to them. What the people of New Orleans did was to give these council members a chance or an opportunity to continue to feed the family, to keep a roof over the family head, give them these opportunity to affiliate themselves with high society. Give them in the case of Ms. Latana, give her a opportunity to drive the latest automobile out there, because that's what they do. They go in office, and next thing you know, they have secret service like the president. They have these secret service, or these security guards or bodyguards around them 24/7. You can't even call them no more. Then they drive these big, humongous automobiles, value. You could actually purchase a house with the funds that these automobiles cost. So we did our part, and we re-elect these people. And look, we're going to take a short break. Then we're going to come back and we're going to tell you what happened. What actually happened this past Thursday, and how it came about to happen. Was it the will of the people that what happened?
Until the philosophy which old one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Everywhere is war. It's a war that until they're no longer first class and second class citizens of any nation, until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes. It's a war that until the basic human rights are equally guaranteed to all without regard to race. And it's a war that until that day, the dream of lasting peace, world citizenship, rule of international morality will remaining but a fleeting illusion to be pursued but never attained. Now And until the ignoble and unhappy regime that hold our brothers in Angola, in Mozambique, South Africa, subhuman bondage have been toppled, utterly destroyed. Well, everywhere is war. There's a war. War in the east, war in the west, war up north, war down south, war, rumors of a war, and until that day
Yes, brothers and sisters, welcome back. Welcome back. You are listening to the Proven Truth with your brother and host, Anthony Brown. To join the conversation, you can dial us at 504-303-8922. To join the conversation, you can dial 504-303-8922. To listen to the program, you can dial us at 712-432-7883. We're also live streaming on Facebook. You can check us out on Facebook. Yes, right before the break, we was just talking about the fact that the New Orleans City Council, weak chicken ass people, resend the resolution that they supported 2 weeks ago. No, this is why they did it. This is why they did it. Mitch J. Landrieu is the mayor of New Orleans, the city of New Orleans. The city council passed this resolution, or adopted this resolution, the 11th. And on the 12th, me and Mitch Landrieu said that the New Orleans City Council resolution that encourages city diversity from companies involved with human rights abuse in the United States and abroad is ill-advised. Ill-advised. And does not reflect the policy, again, the policies of the city of New Orleans. And he there and then went and basically told the city council, or a member of the city council, look, get your act right. Resend that resolution. Now, who the hell is Mitch Landrieu? How far does his portfolio or authority reaches or goes? How many branch of government is there? How many branch of government is there? So you're going to tell me that the legislative branch, look, the truth about, well, let's not even go there, right? Let's give them that title. Let's give them that title and call them the legislative branch, or refer to them like the average person does as a legislative branch. So the legislative branch of the local government perform their duty as legislators. And the administrative branch arbitrarily said, look, I don't want that, or that is not within the policies of the city of New Orleans, and you need to resend that. No, look, this is the problem we're having here in New Orleans, people. A matter of fact, over the goddamn country too, but you know, we are living here in New Orleans. Let's keep it local. This is the problem we are having. This same guy, Mitch Landrieu, he was the one, was it in 2014, who tell members of the judiciary, look, you need to keep your portfolio and your authority within the judiciary. I am the the mayor and the head of the administrative branch. He was the same one. When they threatened to put his ass under home arrest, he was the same one who did that. And he was who, man, it's a joke. He was the one at that time make reference to the Constitution, telling members of the judiciary, look, we have structure. There's a structure. And no members of one branch can operate in another branch, which he was right. But that's what I'm saying. When it comes to implementing or to quoting or to ensure that the law is applied to them, it's okay. It's fine and dandy. But when the same application is needed to be placed on the public at large, these goddamn people turn fool. Now, it wasn't only Mitch Landrieu. You got people like, what's his name? Ernie Filco, the leader of the Zionist movement here in New Orleans, was once, I think before Stacey Head, he was the council at large and the New Orleans council, city council. They bring pressure to bear on the city council or members of the city council. They throw in the chips. They say, look, we don't care. We need this to be rescinded. And without even blinking an eye. No, look, it's a farce. It's a joke what happened last Thursday. Last Thursday, you couldn't even enter. You couldn't even enter the room. It was that crowded. It was that crowded. There was people out in the hallway in that building over the West Bank, General de Gaulle, because they are actually renovating that one on Parges right now. But before, look, the vote was in before the meeting was even called. The vote was in before that meeting was even called. That was a show and tell. That's all it was. It was a show and tell. They came inside there. Then they give you this bullshit story about we didn't even know, or because the story was, look, it wasn't open to the public. Yeah, right. You mean it wasn't open to Mitch Landrieu and Philco and they all have special interests? That's what we didn't open to. No, that's who they answer to. You see? And that's what I'm telling people. People need to understand. We the people need to understand our powers and our authority when it comes on to these crooked elected officials. Or the self-righteous public officials. Now, look, there was calls from all over. There was calls from representative from the Senate and all over Washington, D.C. Why? What was the root cause? What was so inherently wrong about this resolution? Nothing. Let's back up a bit, my brother. Let me tell you, my friends, what was so inherently wrong about this resolution. It was the people who presented it. That was wrong about it. It was the people, the set of people, that conglomerate, that group of people, that committee that presented the resolution. That was what wrong with it. And if truth be told, that's racial profiling too. Within the document, of that resolution, there was nothing, again, listen carefully now, there was nothing in that document that make reference to any country, territory, name. It was generic. But it got that flavor because of the presenters of that document. Then look where the backlash came from. Look where the backlash came from. If you think what I'm saying is wrong, look where the backlash is coming from. Look, I really don't care. Or the issue here is not an Israel issue, or a Palestine issue, or a Middle East issue, or an African issue. It's none of the above. It's none of the above. The issue here, the underlying issue here is a human rights issue. Listen to what I'm saying. It's a human rights issue. And on that issue, we'll talk from now till thy kingdom come. We don't care. And when we have so-called elected officials who at the slightest whimp or the slightest whiff of anything controversial or any threat to the professional or political aspirational relationship can just resend that document or can just reverse the thinking process. When we're talking about a human rights issue, brothers and sisters, we have a problem, man. And we're going to continue to have that problem. You could go out on the street or you could go on Canal Street, the middle, in the middle of Central City, and pull 10 people, 10 random people, 10, 20 random people, and say, look, we want to submit to the members of the city council some policy issues to think about. Random people now to think about. And this could, for all intents and purposes, could be something that random group drafted. You see what I'm talking about? This document that was presented to them No, look, you know, when it was presented to them, you know, nobody, look, you have attorneys and the city council. You have attorneys. Well, look, look, we know James Gray ain't got no license no more to practice law. We know he, you know, because of his criminal activity, he cannot practice law no more. We know that. You know. But he went to law school. You know, whether or not he can practice law or not, he went to law school. He got a degree. And he's one of the guys who like to brag and tell you about the Ivy League, you know, status, you know. I'm an attorney, I went to the best law school, blah, blah, blah. But not only him. Jason Williams is an attorney. Huh? Yeah, Mr. Williams is an attorney too. Organ's an attorney. Well, what we are saying is that there is a within amongst those group of people, you have legal minds. Let's give that to them. Let's call that legal minds. And when the initial resolution was submitted, nobody didn't question it. No one questioned it. So that no one questioned it and they passed it. So, what does that mean? Just looking at that document, nothing jumps off of the paper, or there's nothing that would inflame certain thought process, because there was, again, the document was generic. No, not generic, but it was broad in its scope, and it was based off of the underlying issue was about human rights abuse internationally, which as part of the human race, we're supposed to be concerned about our brothers and sisters, not only here in North America, but all over the globe. So, these human beings here in New Orleans, thinking about other human beings wherever, draft this resolution without labeling it. You see what I'm talking about? Look, I think it was, I think we're supposed to, people like these, we're supposed to be elevating, we're supposed to give accolades to. Wow. Look at these people. Not only that, you know, but when you look at the group of people that submit this resolution, what do you call them? Millenniums? Under 30? Millenniums. These are young people. Young, considerate people. For the most part, some of them look like they don't even reach 30 years yet. You see what I'm talking about? What was so inherently wrong with this document that Mitch Landrieu referred to it as ill-advised? What does that mean, Mitch? What does that mean, Mitch? Ill-advised. What does that mean? Mean it don't meet your standard? It means if this should stay on the books, the people who sponsor your campaign and the people who you're looking to sponsor your campaign won't sponsor your campaign no more? That these people won't promote the book you're about to write? Are you in the process of writing? What does that mean, Mitch? Ill advised. Does it mean you cannot go to Washington, D.C. no more and say, hey, look, I'm throwing my hat in 2020 for 2020? There was nothing ill-advised about this resolution that was submitted and passed. But that just goes to show you about the breed of people that we have sitting in public office. Weak-ass people. Self-righteous, self-promoting people. Self-serving. Look, I just read to you a while ago. I just read to you moments ago. When seeking higher office, the beautiful terminology that they use. Oh, we want to make sure that fairness is across the board. Economic prosperity. We want to take the thought process and the ideology and everybody feelings into consideration while once we do something. The numbers of people living in New Orleans outnumbers outnumbers the amount of people running Arab and that create government. So whose vote or whose voice supposed to be on the forefront are supposed to consider more? We call this a democratic country where 51 beat 50. The people of New Orleans spoke or give the marching order to the city council, and Mitch Landrieu call it ill-advised. Mitch Landrieu call it ill-advised. Mitch Landrieu call Lataya and say, look Lataya, this is what I want you to do. Did Lataya say, no Mitch, I ain't doing that? I'm representing the people of New Orleans. Did she say that? Look, I do have first-hand knowledge that she didn't. But based on her action, based on what she did last Thursday, a reasonable person could conclude that she didn't. You are listening to The Proven Truth with your brother and host, Anthony Brown. To participate in the program, you can dial us at 504-303-8922. To listening, you can dial 712-432-7883. We also live stream on Facebook. Anthony Brown for Assessor 2017. The structure of government that we have, each branch have its own authority and its own purpose and function. It's not to say one branch cannot talk to another branch. But when we recognize the territory in which we are living, and when we recognize that we are living in the most political corrupted territory within the union, we then also have to recognize that the action of these political players must be scrutinized. Must be scrutinized. Because we know that more so in the case of Mitch Landrieu. Let me tell you something about Mitch Landrieu, man. Look, Mitch Landrieu is one of those power-hungry, greedy, self-serving bastards about there, man. That's who Mitch Landrieu is. We have a lame duck city council right now. A lame duck city council right now. And why do we have that lame duck city council? Mitch Landrieu will tell you, he's the first to tell you, and his IP and attorneys, the city hall will tell you, it's the will of the people. No, son of a bitch, it's not. You are so power hungry that you will formulate or join any partnership or promote any group that will do something that will benefit you so you can reap from it and elevate yourself to higher office. He was elected in 2010. Yeah, talking about Mitch Landrieu. He was elected to office in 2010. He recognizes that this year, 2018, the city of New Orleans will be celebrating its tricentennial, and that the spotlight will be on New Orleans. Now, and rightfully so. Because I think the last time I checked, this is the oldest city within the union, right? Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. It's even older than these United States. Right? So, just to that mere reason alone, we're going to be having cameras from all over the globe shining light right here. And who going to be reaping off of that spotlight? Mitch J. Landrieu. Mitch J. Landrieu. And what he's going to be doing? He's going to be smiling in front of those cameras and telling people about the progress that the city of New Orleans make under his administration. You know? Man, look, this is a joke. What if we can find this? What if we can find this article for you guys? Look, there was an article written a while back, right? There was an article written a while back by and a member of Mitch cabinet. I think it was one of his deputy mayors. One of his deputy mayors. During an interview was saying that based on the fact that the Reagan administration, that's the administration before Landrieu. The Reagan administration was under investigation, and then subsequently, you know, sometime after Mitch went into office, Reagan is still presently serving time right now. He was saying that because of that factor and that issue, it took them some time to do the transitioning, you know, to start to fully operate government. So he was blaming that whole transitional phase on the Nagin administration. Now, what happened in 2013 and thereafter? They put a proposal on the ballot, right, to extend the inauguration time of the mayor that's coming into office. I think firstly it was done through this group, the League of Women. The League of Women voters lobby the Louisiana legislation, I think back in 2013, to move the election, you know, in parish over 300 people from early winter to fall, you know. Now, this is my thing. Their argument is that, you know, it was the Woman League and certain other special interest group, you know, that's socially connected, or that's socially that because of social event, you know, conflicts or overshadow the political inauguration or the political election. So they did that. They end up putting something on the ballot back in November, when it was, I think it was November 13 to 13, 14. Unbeknownst to the people of New Orleans. A vast majority of the people of New Orleans wasn't aware of that. That Mitch Landrieu wanted to extend his time as the mayor. Now look, the argument can be made, which I think they did. You know, Mardi Gras and, you know, conflict with the, or is kind of is in close proximity to the mayor taking elected officer, being sworn into officer, Super Bowl, or whatever social event. But you're gonna tell me we have documents, because what they had was to do, you know, they had was to change the charter, the New Orleans charter, to make this happen. They had was to lobby the Louisiana legislature to make this happen. Right? You're gonna tell me that a social event like Mardi Gras or maybe Super Bowl or whatever you want to call it is so renowned that you're gonna change a document like the Constitution or the Home Rule Charter just so you can have them far and wide apart, or you can have one event not overshadow another event? No, I don't believe that. I personally, I don't know who do, but personally, I don't believe that. I ain't swallowing that pill. Not me. Maybe you guys can.
Until
the philosophy which old one rates superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Everywhere is war. It's a war that until they're no longer first class and second class citizens of any nation, until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes. It's a war that until the basic human rights are equally guaranteed to all without regard to race. But it's a war that until that day, the dream of lasting peace, world citizenship, rule of international morality will remaining but a fleeting illusion to be pursued but never attained. Now everywhere is war, war, and until the ignoble and unhappy regime that hold our brothers in Angola, in Mozambique, South Africa, subhuman bondage have been toppled, totally destroyed. Well, everywhere is war. There's a war. War in the east, war in the west, war up north, war down south, war, war, rumors of a war, and until that day, the African continent will not know peace. We Africans will
Yes, family. Yes, family. Yes, family. You are listening to the Proven Truth. You are listening to the Proven Truth with your brother and host, Anthony Brown. I just basically give you a quick overview based off from my memory. You know, I actually found that article I was talking about. Mitch Landrieu is mayor for another 6 months. Mitch Landrieu is mayor for another 6 months. This was an article that was in the Time-Picayune. New Orleans Mayor Mitch Landrieu's administration has been busy preparing brief memos for the incoming mayor and hire a firm to help manage an unusually long 6-month transaction to new mayor-elect LaToya Cantrell. Deputy Mayor, unusually long 6-month transition. I heard this is one of Mitch Landrieu's favorite, spending public money. That's a whole totally different show by itself. Hires a firm to help manage an unusual, what you need a firm to do? Why you need a firm to assist in the transition? For what? We have department heads, right? We have department heads. So all you do when LaToya come in, if you need to familiar, you know, to have her familiar with the department heads, or as you pass that button to her, show her the layout of City Hall, which she's supposed to be fully aware of. But why you have to be spending public money to hire a firm to do that? Now, the question that I then would ask, what is the name of this firm? Who are the members of this firm? And what relationship does these members have to you, Mitch? Because we know you only hire people who you have a personal relationship with, or who's going to do what you actually tell them to do. Deputy Mayor Ryan Burney said in an interview before Cantrell engaged Victoria Saturday against opponent Desiree Chambonnet that Landrieu was preparing to help either candidates to get ready to take office. Cantrell and the New Orleans City Council will be sworn in May 7th. The land transition period is due to 2 changes. Okay, this is where the time needs to roll. Now, what we do here, or what we try to do here, is inform and educate. And as the program said, it's the proven truth. What is the proven truth? It is not my own personal belief of the facts or of what I think has happened, nor nobody else. We're talking about the proven truth. That which is constant with facts and reality. Now, we're going to actually show you, because you have people out there don't even know why we have this long transitional period they're talking about. People ask me, oh, man, I thought he was going to be out of office already. No, dude. No, my brother. He might have 6 more months in office. Does he deserve 6 more months in office? No, he doesn't. But believe me when I say to you that these people, as Mr. Williams says, when they utilize that brain cell and that critical thinking, it's done with strategy in mind, or with a strategic angle to it. None of this, what happened, right, was done just by fluke. Mitch Landrieu had it in the back of his brain that he wanted to be the mayor for as long as possible, so that the limelight of this tricentennial could be shined on him, or he could be in the limelight, in that spotlight. I guarantee you, he's sucking up all of this limelight like crazy, and he will continue to do so until he leaves office come May 7th. This is what his deputy mayor said. Control and the new city council will be sworn in May 7th. The long transition period is due to 2 changes. One made by the Louisiana legislation in 2013. No, didn't I say that? Didn't I say 2013? You see, that's why we live stream on Facebook and on the internet, so we can go back and check it. And the other, as a city charter change, New Orleans voter approved in 2014. No, didn't I say it as well? But this is it. City charter change, New Orleans voters approved in 2014. I guarantee you, the vast majority of people did not know what they was actually voting for or what was on the ballot. They didn't recognize the fact that they was giving Mitch Landrieu 6 more months in office. They didn't. New Orleans City charter change, new inauguration date on November 4th ballot. A proposal on the November 4th ballot asks voters to reschedule. Okay, so this is what was on the ballot. Reschedule those office inauguration from the first Monday in May to the second Monday in January after a municipal election. The League of Women Voters successfully lobbied the Louisiana legislature in 2013 to move elections in parishes with more than 300,000 people from early winter to fall, lining the elections up with statewide race. Before that change, voters in Orleans Parish had become accustomed to casting ballots during Mardi Gras, and in 2010, when Landrieu first won his mayoral seat, the election was held the day before the New Orleans Saints won the Super Bowl. Okay. So what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? What is so inherently wrong with? It's 2 different days. One day It was inaugurated. The next day, the Super Bowl. Okay. Look, we're talking about social events and political occurrence. That's what we're talking about, people. You know, I don't see the big deal. The charter change was needed to move the mayoral and city council inauguration date closer to the actual election. But in a compromise move, here we go. Somebody give it up. The change were not slated to take effect until 2022. Full stop. Look at that. When I say to you that Mitch Landrieu is a political, hungry, self-serving, seeking bastard, it's right there. This is not my truth. This is the immutable truth. This is facts right here. Constant with reality. Okay. So if they did that, okay, who did the compromise? Why was the compromise necessary then? Let's say something was significantly wrong. Let's look, critical thinking. Let's talk about this. Let's say the proximity, let's say between the social event and the political event was so close that, you know, somebody say, all right, look, it's close, we want to change it. Let's put something on the ballot. Let's lobby the legislature. Let's change the home rule charter, because, you know, it's too close and we don't like it. We don't like that, you know, a Super Bowl can be on this day, and on this day we can be swearing in the mayor. Let's change it. They did. All right. And I guarantee you, no, I'm not going to guarantee you, but if I was a betting man, I would bet the fact that on the ballot, the people of New Orleans was so informed that this change that they talk about would not take effect until 2022. If I was a betting man, I would bet that's the case. But here we go. A compromise. Now, why do we need a compromise? If something is on the ballot, okay, if the people need to speak on an issue, and they speak on the issue, we have room, or there's room for compromise. For what? You, the government, want something, or you, the elected official, need something from us, the bosses, your bosses, the people. You put it in writing, and we sign off on it. You tell us one thing in writing, and we look at you and say, okay, you know, one up for you. Go ahead, have fun. It's a done deal. So now, after we give that authority, you're going to go behind closed door and do something else, make some side deal. This is what the article says. Leaving 2018 as an odd year, where it will take a full 6 months for the newly elected mayor and council members to take office. Bernie said that Landrieu administration has been particularly sensitive to overseeing a smooth transition because Landrieu had to take over a city hall that was in crisis after the Ptolemy's second term of former mayor Ray Nagin. Less than a year before the 2010 election, the FBI began investigation in Nagin's administration, and he would be convicted 4 years later on corruption charges. You are listening to The Proven Truth with your brother and host Anthony Brown. To participate in the show, you can call us at 504-303-8922. You can listen to us by dialing 712-432-7883. You can also download the app, or for those of you who have TuneIn, you can tune in to us at Radio Gumbo Creole. That's Radio Gumbo Creole. We also live stream these shows on Facebook. You can check us out, facebook.com/Anthony Brown for Assessor 2017. Family, I just take a pause. And let me tell you why. Let me back up a bit and read this last two sentences for you. Less than a year before, now, again, this was an article published in the New Orleans Picayune. I'm reading this from an article that was published in the New Orleans Picayune. This basically confirms some of the things that I've been saying, proving what I've been saying to be true. Less than a year before the 2010 election, the FBI began investigating Nagin's administration, and he would be convicted 4 years later on corruption charges. Now, let me remind you who is speaking here. The person who is speaking here is the deputy mayor of New Orleans, or one of them, Ryan Bernie. B-E-R-N-I, Ryan Bernie. Now, he's speaking about the last administration and making mention to the investigation and subsequently trial and conviction, corruption charges and conviction of Nagin. I said this many times before, and I'm going to continue to say it. And if anybody out there listening and have Negan's ears, I'm not sure if Negan can hear this program or listen to this program. But this is what I'm saying to him. If he is listening to this program, or maybe somebody can pass the message on to him for me. You need to save the top bunk for Mitch Landrieu. I know you're lonely right now. I know you're counting down the time right now. But you need to save the top bunk for Mitch Landrieu. Because he's coming. He's coming. If it's corruption charges that you, no, mind you, I understand the fact that Negan is a brother, is a black man. And Negan at one point make a statement about wanting New Orleans to be a chocolate city. I know he offended a lot of people. I know that. I know Mitch is a Caucasian, or what they call white. I know he have, friends in high places. A matter of fact, as I've been saying before, and I continue to say again, the only reason why the mayor, the present mayor of the city of New Orleans, Mitch J. Landrieu, the only reason why the FBI ain't investigating him right now, well, that I or anybody else knows of, the FBI have the way of doing things, is because of Mitch Landrieu brother, Maurice Landrieu. Now, I don't know if his brother can save his white ass when him leave office. But for right now, he's covering that ass real good. Who is Maurice Landrieu? You don't know? Alright, I'll tell you. I'll tell you who Maurice Landrieu is. Maurice Landrieu is Mitch Landrieu's brother. Maurice Landrieu is an attorney in the U.S. District Office. Now, I personally believe that he was strategically placed there so that, because his portfolio, the last time I checked, he was the person who received all these complaints. This office stay of a supervisor or somebody in charge, a gatekeeper. So once a complaint is levied, he's the one who has the final say. No, we ain't looking at this, man. There's nothing to see here. File 13. Oh no, this ain't a crime. This is an oversight. So because of that, there is no vigorous or there is no known FBI investigation on him right now. But that's not to say And after leaving office, his ass won't be under investigation too. Maybe, looking at the time frame of Negan, maybe when Negan coming out of federal prison, Mitch Landrieu will be going to federal prison. Look, let me tell you something, people. We know of atrocities that this mayor, Mitch J. Landrieu, commit right here in New Orleans. We know, personally we know. We ain't asking nobody. Mitch J. Landrieu is a crook. He's a criminal. We know that. We know he's a crook, he's a criminal. We know that he will do whatever it takes to stay in the limelight. Thinking that while he's in the limelight, certain things, or certain accusation, or certain action won't be taken against him. Mitch J. Landrieu is a crook, man. Let's continue. So, right here they're trying to say that, you see, they are creating, they are fishing, they are creating stuff. They are creating reasons. So they are trying to say, look, because of what happened to Negan during that transition period between the Negan and the Landrieu administration, you know, we have foresight. Foresight. It's a joke, man. We have that experience and we want to create. Look, all of this extension of time didn't happen until after 2010, until after Landrieu was elected to public office. They are trying to generate an argument for the fact that we have a lame duck government, right, local government right here, right now in New Orleans. All these are, that's what all this is. We know what a tough transition looks like based on how we came into office. So we will be rolling out the next several days. A lot about the transition will be managed, Bernie said last week. The mayor's office has not yet disclosed more about the transition, but Bernie said in the interview that longer term, we will have a formal operation and briefing. Depending on what gets elected, depending on who gets elected, this prosperity may change. Blah, 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 blah. They're trying to build a case. They're trying to build a case. Knowing that people out there asking the question, why? Why is it so long? Why? They're trying to build a case, family. They're trying to build a case. Look, I'm not backing Ray Negan. No, what Ray Negan did. That's not what this is all about. We are here operating in our portfolio as the people. The bosses. That's who we are. We are the bosses. Respect that. Recognize that. People asking, hey, brother Anthony, you talk about them. Because they're the I are them fools. That's the reason why when members of the city council last Thursday reacted in the way they reacted, they should have all lose their job. All of them. when they act up on the special interest. That's why it was special interest. You're gonna tell me you have a situation where you can step up to the plate and put in common sense. Again, all it was just a blinking request. But you can put something on the book. We're approaching our tricentennial. So we can say that, look, yeah, as you know, I mean, for this past 300 years, we have seen and done things, we have learned things, and all this is a common sense approach. That's all it is. People are saying to you, you giving out these contracts, value millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Look who you give, just double check and see who you give these contracts to. Huh? Is these guys on an FBI watch list? On the CIA watch list? Huh? Does these guys have some offshore bank accounts where they contribute to, you know, people who commit atrocity against our fellow human being? And that's all it is. That's all it is. You are listening to The Proven Truth. You are listening to The Proven Truth with your brother and host, Anthony Brown. You can tune in to us every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday between the hours of 4 and 6 p.m. You can participate in the program by dialing 504-303-8922. You can listen to us by dialing 712-432-7883. For those of you who have tuned in, the app Tune In, you can listen to us at Radio Gumbo Creole. Radio Gumbo Creole. Now, family, there's so much for us to talk about and ponder over. There's issues that we didn't even touch on as yet, which we wanted to go over today, but we'll leave for another program. You see, when it come on to government and governmental function, these are issues and topics that we're supposed to be talking about at the dinner table. Until we recognize the fact that what these politicians do affect us directly, and we need to be on guard. We must be on guard. They came to us on their hands and knees and begged us for power. And we give it to them. I know we give it to them with a certain mindset, you know. But we must also monitor these political players. We are putting food on the table. We are exposing a lot of them to a certain lifestyle that they are not accustomed to. We are the boss. We are the boss. And we need to act like bosses. Look, this is a brother. We're gonna leave you for today. You can tune back in Thursday, same time, same place. Anthony Brown, much love.
Is there any remorse within your heart for those who give death in the past? Those who came across your path, their life they've lost. Sure, I need a blind. Say, circumstances made me what I am. Was I born a violent man? Circumstances made me what I am. Everyone should understand. Circumstances made me what I am. Was I born a violent man? Circumstances made me what I am. Everyone should know. But it's so strange.